Hi and welcome to Love Doing Yoga on this Monday evening. Hope you had a lovely weekend. I'm actually recording this on Saturday morning, so the weekend is looking very promising. So let's hope it stayed that way. As always, throughout the practice, listen to your body and only do what feels right for you today. Our theme today is align. So we will try to keep our awareness on our alignment in our bodies and really work well with our bodies today. So let us begin by lying down. Making yourself nice and comfortable on your mat. Closing your eyes. Slowing down. Letting go of your day and everything that's going on in your world. Letting go of your roles, responsibilities, labels. And just bringing yourself to your mat. Spending this time connecting your body with your mind through your breath. And let your attention go to the back of your eyelids. Notice what's presented to you there. Letting your focus remain on it. See the shapes, the colors, movement. And then just let your fingers rest on your eyelids so you have complete darkness. That nice feeling of your fingers on your eyelids, nice and gentle. And keeping that focus on the back of your eyelids gently. Draw your hands back down by your sides. Seeing the change. And then let your attention go to your breath. Inhaling through your nose, filling your belly. And then exhaling through your nose, a nice long, slow, steady exhale. And just rest your hands around your navel area. We'll just practice our engaging our core as we exhale. You know that breath you're very familiar with, but it's always useful to just bring it right back to basics so you can feel how each element just adds to that engagement. So taking your inhale here, allowing the belly to rise and fill, pause, and then as you exhale, just draw up the pelvic floor. And notice how you can feel the engagement begin from the lower part of your core. And inhaling again, pausing, and this time as you exhale, drawing up that pelvic floor, belly button in and up. Feeling that engagement just rise up through the core. And inhaling again. Pausing, and this time as you exhale, drawing up the pelvic floor, belly button in and up, sides of the waist in, feeling the whole core engage. And then throughout your practice, work with your core in whatever way feels best for you. So some people like to kind of engage the core and keep it engaged. And that's fine if that's you. And for others, you might find it easier to release the core as you inhale, engage the core as you exhale. So whatever works for you, that releasing and engaging in and of itself is a really good exercise for the core. But work with your core whatever way feels right for you. And when you're ready, just bend those knees. Have your feet about shoulder width apart, bringing the arms down by your sides. Lengthen your spine here so it's as long as it can be. Let the shoulder blades sink into the mat so the chest feels open and bright. Notice how the spine is connected to the mat at the base and then leaves the mat momentarily before joining it again at your mid rib cage. And you can play with this a bit, and everybody's different. You can press your spine fully into the mat, which will just raise the pelvis slightly. And then you can take it in the exact opposite direction, so you draw the small of your back as far away from the mat as you can. And again, pressing the spine into the mat. And draw it away. And one more time, pressing that spine into the mat. And drawing it away. And then coming back to that equilibrium. That point of comfort in between those two extremes. Ensuring the shoulder blades are still fully connected to the mat. And this position just gives you that ideal alignment. Taking one more breath here. And then when you're ready, raising the feet up off the mat. Put your hands on your knees. And let's just draw big circles with those knees. And you might be able to feel those muscles around your knees, those tendons and muscles just move as you circle those knees. And then let's take it in the opposite direction. And then coming to stillness, holding onto the shins, let's circle those ankles. And taking that in the opposite direction. And coming to stillness again, just Let the knees come a little away from you so you've got a nice right angle here. And let's let both legs look upwards, and one at a time, bending the knee. Almost like we're walking on the ceiling. And then letting both feet come down onto the mat once again. Let the knees fall over to the left. And your arms come into a T as you look to the right. Just getting that nice twist of the body. One more breath here. And then coming back through the center, taking it over to the other side. One more breath. And then rolling on over to come up through all fours to stand at the top of your mat. Good. So feet hip width apart, both pointing forward, equal weight on both feet. Just press the big toe into the mat just to help raise your arches of your feet, which just gives you that better alignment. And then let's work from the top, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. The hips and the heels are in a nice straight line. Just turn the palms outwards. And notice as you do that, it just helps to brighten the chest, lengthen the spine, and draw those shoulder blades into a nice square position. And now think about being as tall as you can possibly be. We're going to take 3 breaths here. Engaging that core. And then raising the arms all the way up. Let's have the palms together. Raise the gaze. We're going to run through a sun salute on each side, taking it nice and handy at this stage of the practice. There'll be plenty more sun salutes to get into later on. So from here, sweeping down into your forward fold, bend your knees as much as you need to. And halfway lift, lengthening through that spine. And forward fold again. Let's step the right leg back for our low lunge. Arms up past the ears. And then taking it through to our plank. Get the hands ready first, opening the fingers out nice and wide. Fingertips very active against the mat, stepping the body back into your plank, shoulders over wrists, softness in the elbows, even though you're pressing away. 3 breaths here. And then when you're ready, making your way down onto your mat, knees and feet, keeping the elbows in as the chest comes down and then the belly. And then from here, drawing that forehead and chest away from the mat and pushing on up through your tabletop, adjust it as much as you need to then make your way slowly into your downward dog. Letting those legs stretch out. Pushing the hips back, lengthening through that spine as you press away from the mat until you're ready to come to your point of stillness. Gaze at the belly button. That just helps to keep the spine fully aligned all the way up to your neck. And let's take 3 breaths here. And then when you're ready, stretching that right leg out behind you and step it through for your low lunge. And then coming to stand into forward fold. And bending the knees, coming all the way up. Palms together over the head. Raise the gaze, take a breath. And sweeping down, forward fold. Getting a little deeper now. And halfway lift. And forward fold again. And let's step the left leg back. Low lunge. And then through to your plank for 3 breaths. Setting it up first. And then bringing yourself down onto your mat before you rise up into your baby cobra and push through to your downward dog. Taking 3 breaths here. Keeping those shoulder blades away from the ears. And then stretching that left leg out behind you, step it through. Low lunge. And making your way up into your forward fold. Coming all the way up to stand at the top of your mat, bringing your hands into prayer at your chest. Take a breath. Good. And then from here, we're going to step the right leg back. No, we're not. We're going to step the left leg back. Sorry, getting mixed up. So step the left leg back, lining up the heels. So we've got a nice straight line here between the heels, bending this right knee so it's over the ankle, extending that width as much as you can. Your body is on one plane, if you like. The front of your body is facing the long side of the mat. Bring those arms out into a T, and let's just turn to gaze out over that right hand in our warrior two. Keeping the shoulders soft here, engaging the core. Let's take 3 breaths. And then when you're ready, bending this elbow, the right elbow, rest it down on your thigh, keeping that bend in the knee. Draw the left arm up past the ear for an extended side angle. We want to keep the chest nice and bright, so just think about that chest looking forward and up. And now we're going to take it into a triangle. So straightening the front leg. Let the right hand point down towards the mat. The left hand pointing upwards, following it with your gaze. And then rising up. And let's step it up to the top of the mat. Good. Checking in on that alignment again. So feet hip width apart. Equal weight on both feet. That weight distributed evenly between the ball and the heel of the foot. Turning the palms outwards. Lengthening the spine, taking a breath. And raising the arms up, palms together, raise the gaze, take a breath. Sweeping through, forward fold. And halfway lift. And forward fold again. Let's step the right leg back for our low lunge. And through to our plank for 3 breaths. And then coming down, knees and feet, chest and belly, drawing up into your cobra and pushing through then to come to your downward dog. 3 breaths here. Keeping that focus on the core. And let's raise that right leg up, stepping it through for our low lunge. And forward fold. Bending the knees, coming all the way up, palms together, raise the gaze, take a breath. And sweeping down, forward fold. Taking it into halfway lift. Your forward fold should be getting nice and deep now. Let's step that left leg back for our low lunge. And through to plank for 3 breaths. And making your way down onto your mat. Coming up into your back bend. And then through to downward dog. And remember, in your downward dog, if your spine doesn't feel as long as it could be, you can always open those legs out a little bit wider. It just helps you to get that length. And then let's stretch the left leg out behind you and step it through for your low lunge. And forward fold. Bending the knees. Coming all the way up, bring those hands down into prayer at the chest. Take a breath. And now we're going to step our right leg back. I'll just go to the other end of the mat so I don't have my back to you. So now we step our right leg back to come into our warrior 2 on this side. So again, line up the knee first. That really maximizes the benefit of this pose. So the warrior poses are brilliant for the legs because they stretch one leg and condition the other leg at the same time. Magic. So, but to maximize the benefit, you need to keep this knee over the ankle and just ensure it doesn't fall out or in. Bringing the arms into your T and then turning to gaze out over that left arm. Let's take 3 breaths here. And taking it through to your extended side angle. So resting the arm on the thigh as you draw that right arm up past the ears, just ensuring those shoulders are stacked on top of each other. The chest stays bright. And then taking it from here into your triangle, straightening that front leg. Keeping the gaze up towards the ceiling. And then drawing back up to upright, stepping this right foot up to the top of the mat as we take
our sun salute on each side once more. First of all, let's get that alignment right. So again, always starting with the feet. If the feet are right, you're in with a fighting chance. So they need to be in a nice straight line, pointing forward, standing up tall. Turn those palms towards the front. Taking one more breath here. And then raising those arms up, palms together, raise the gaze, take a breath. And drawing yourself down into a forward fold. And halfway lift. Forward fold again. Let's step that right leg back for our low lunge. And then taking it through to a plank for 3 breaths. Get yourself into position. And then bringing yourself down onto your mat and lifting up into your cobra. Pushing through then to your downward dog. Feeling that length in the legs now. And stretching the right leg out behind you, stepping it through for your low lunge. And making your way up to the top of your mat, raising the hands, palms together, raise the gaze. Sweeping down into your forward fold. As you come down, just check on those feet. They're still facing towards the front in a nice straight line with each other. And halfway lift, lengthen that spine. Forward fold again. Let's step the left leg back for low lunge. And then taking it through to your plank. And coming down onto your mat. Drawing up to your cobra. And push through to downward dog. Two more breaths here. And then stretching that left leg out behind you, stepping it through. Low lunge. And making your way up into forward fold. And bend those knees as you come all the way up to the top of your mat. Good, bringing those hands into prayer at the chest. Close the eyes. And take a breath. Good. Let me just make my way back up to this side of the mat. And from here, let's bring those toes together. Heels just a little bit apart, standing up tall once more. And we're going to come down into a chair pose. So let the hips push back, the knees bent, drawing the arms up. One more breath here. And then let's just fold the body forward. Let the hands come down. Keep the knees bent. I'm working with your breath. When you inhale, raise the torso up. And exhale, lowering the torso down. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, coming down. 3 more times. And then coming back up to stand at the top of your mat. Good. And again, standing with those ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, finding that length. And we're going to take it into a tree pose. So shift the weight into this right foot. Turn the left foot. First of all, get the angle right. So it's at a right angle, so that knee is pointing straight away from the right knee, the standing knee. And then raise that left leg up onto your calf or your thigh, whichever works for you. Keeping the knee at a right angle. Find your stillness. The core can really help you here, as well as pressing the foot in against the leg and the leg against the foot. Maybe raise the arms up over the head. Two more breaths here. And then bringing those hands back down into prayer, release the foot down by your side. Well done. Let's take that to the other side. Turning that right foot now at a right angle to the left. As you draw the foot up either to the calf or the thigh. Find your stillness, your gaze point. And then maybe raise the arms up over the head if you like. And perhaps open them out. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Keep a softness in the shoulders. And then drawing those arms down, hands down to your chest. And release the leg down. Good, well done. And from here, raise the arms up, palms together, raise the gaze, take a breath. And sweeping the arms down, coming into a forward fold with those feet together, a little bit more challenging. See, can you get a bit deeper? So we're going to stay here for 3 breaths. Let's just see with each breath if you can get that body a little closer to the legs. Then bringing those hands down onto the mat, let's step it back into a tabletop. So, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees, feet straight out behind you, pressing away from the mat, nice and active in this tabletop. Gaze on the mat, engaging that core. One more breath here. And then making our way up into a downward dog. One more breath. And then from here, coming back down into your tabletop. And let's make our way down onto our bellies. So forehead on the mat, hands either side of the chest, having those elbows facing each other. And we're going to rise up into a full cobra here. So drawing the forehead and chest away from the mat. Now activate the hands and press on up. And you can look to the front here in this. So your hands are supporting you for quite a deep back bend. We're going to take 3 breaths here. Remembering to keep a softness in the elbows. And then from here, lowering the body down. This time, bring the forearms down onto the mat so the elbows are either side of the chest. And we're going to just draw up here into a nice little Sphinx pose. So much more gentle back bend. And then when you're ready, lowering yourself down onto your mat, bring your arms down by your side. And let's raise the right leg up. And draw it down. And raise the left leg up. And draw it down. And let's alternate those legs now. Inhale as you rise it up. Exhale as you draw it down, and taking it over to the other side. Once more on each side. And then from here, let's draw up into a full locust. So the forehead, chest, legs and arms all rise up. Keeping that gaze on the mat to keep the spine nice and long. 2 more breaths. And then lowering the body down onto the mat, bring the hands either side of the chest as we push up into a tabletop once again. Activating that core. And then pushing back to a child's pose. Either with the arms extended out in front of you or down by your side, whichever you prefer. Let the body soften into it. And then when you're ready, rising up to kneel and then swinging around to bring those legs out in front of you. Nice and long, toes pointing upwards, sitting up nice and tall. We're going to come into a nice forward fold here. So lowering the body down. And with each breath, just seeing if you can get a little deeper into your fold. And then making your way back up to sit. Let's bend this right knee and just let it come across underneath that left thigh. And then bend the left knee. So the left foot is on the mat. And we're going to take a nice twist just to ease out after all that back bend. So use that right arm against the left leg, taking a nice full twist here. Lengthening through the spine, still focusing on that alignment. One more breath. And coming all the way around to the front again. Let's take that to the other side. So taking this left foot, bringing it underneath that right thigh. So it's nice and deep bend, good bend for the knee. Bend that right leg then, and then taking your twist to the right. And coming all the way back to the center, lowering yourself down onto your mat. And hugging those knees into the chest, just taking a gentle little sway from side to side.
And then when you're ready, let those feet come down onto the mat. The legs extend out, those feet flopping out to the side, palms facing upwards. And thank you very much for joining me in this practice. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you feel more aligned on the inside and the outside. And now it's time to relax, release, and let go. Letting go of your toes and the soles of your feet. Letting go of the tops of your feet, your heels and ankles. Letting go of your calves and your shins, your knees, front and back. Your thighs, front and back. Letting go of your glutes and your pelvis. The whole back of your body, back of your rib cage, length of your spine, your shoulder blades. Just let them go. Letting go the whole front of your body, front of your rib cage, chest and shoulders. Letting go your armpits, upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, the backs of your hands, the palms of your hands and your fingers. Letting go the back of your head, the crown of your head, your forehead, eyebrows, eyes, cheeks, jaw, chin, lips and tongue. The whole of your body, just let it go. And identify a moment in your life over the last 24 hours that brought you a little bit of joy. No matter how trivial, no matter what it is, just let your heart fill with gratitude for that moment. And let that gratitude make its way around your whole body.